Thanks, my young friend.
Hey, Fredster. Thanks for the follow. Yeah, I mean, if you want a group, I'm just, you know the drill. It's just going to be driving around. Welcome back. I just don't want to wait. I want to, I don't want any delay in my buffs. So I'm just going. But if you want to come out and meet up, you are welcome to do so. Oh, sorry, Risen. I didn't realize. I can bounce. Let me know when you're done. You sure?
Yeah, it's no big.
Alright, well, do you guys want to at least make bets on how many groups of Black Sun I'll find in the next 2 hours?
14.
14 groups?
Nah, I'd say 3 or 4.
That would be very
Optimistic?
nice. Yes, optimistic is the word.
That's me. Mr. Optimism.
One group at least. Between 1 and 5 groups. Yeah, I'd say the answer is probably going to land somewhere in that range. Actually, no. I'm going to say somewhere between 0 and 5. Hell, why don't we just cover all of our bases? I'm going to find somewhere between 0 and 100 groups.
Yes, you win the bet. You know what you should do is, like, you could make a game out of this. Use a chance cube. You know, I don't know. You're better at that than I am.
Use a chance cube.
Like, use a chance cube and assign numbers to a person in your chat.
Okay.
And whoever comes up, but with the number that comes up, that person wins. I don't know.
Well, I have a bot that can do like random giveaways to everybody that's in chat.
Oh.
So it's a lot easier than having to use a chance cube.
Yeah, that's true. Is that a Twitch bot?
Yeah.
Yeah, those things are a good way to waste some time.
I've still never completely configured mine. I just got a couple cool things working here and there. I don't stream enough to really like justify going full on with it.
Yeah. Yeah, your schedule's irregular like mine is. It's really difficult to do anything regularly except go to work.
Well, this Thursday, 2 days, is my medical for my other job. And if that goes well, it's going to be a pretty big lifestyle change.
I bet. good luck to you on that.
Thank you. Yeah, it's like I'm looking forward to it, and I'm also super nervous about it at the same time, you know?
I think we lost you. Or I just hear you, one of the two.
See if these Geonosians kill me.
I think I had a little signal dip there.
Yep. I just got insta-killed by those group of Geonosians that spawned by the little statue.
Ah, it's exciting.
Well, I was right. I found 0 groups. Now I gotta go back to Tat and Buv.
Yep. You're not on Mobius, I guess.
No, I am.
It wouldn't matter anyway. It wouldn't matter anyway. You got a clone.
That sucked.
I just had the thought that we're just under 5 months away from our next Star Wars film.
You just realized that?
Well, I mean, I know it, but I just thought of it. It doesn't command my thoughts all day long. It's nice.
Get on my level.
I actually haven't. Say again?
I said get on my level.
I haven't watched anything about it. I just saw that one trailer that they did at Star Wars Celebration a couple of times, and I haven't seen anything since. I haven't read anything about it.
Did you see the behind-the-scenes videos?
Nope.
Oh.
I decided I haven't seen anything because I haven't really. Nothing has really got my attention because I've been really busy. And I kind of decided recently, you know, I haven't seen any of the stuff that came out. And like when I was a kid, like there was a trailer with a couple of shots of The Empire Strikes Back, and that was it. And we went to the theater, and it was just a complete shock, you know. So I kind of like to do that again.
Well, that's kind of. I mean, I'm not trying to persuade you one way or the other, but that's kind of the cool thing about the behind-the-scenes trailers. Is there is very few actual like shots from the movie in them. It's mostly the cast and crew like talking to the camera,
messing around. Yeah, you're right about that, and it is really fascinating for me to watch that stuff. But they're usually in costume.
Yeah.
And you see sets and things like that. And so I kind of just recently somebody asked me if I had seen that. And I said no, and I just had the thought, I could go watch this right now, but it seems like it'll be pretty easy to avoid if I want to, so maybe I will. because like with Force Awakens, I found myself waiting for things from the trailer or the trailers, which is sometimes not good. Like if you spoiler, if you wait for the things you see in the Rogue One trailer, you're gonna wait a while.
That's true.
So I don't know. I mean, I could go either way with it.
I am a sucker for when it comes to spoilers and trailers and that stuff. Like, I actually read, back when, before Episode 3 came out, the entire movie script to Episode 3 leaked. And I caved
really?
in and read the whole script.
That's funny.
It was like 2 months before the movie came out. I read the whole script, and then when we went and saw it on the midnight showing, like, we're watching the movie, and not only am I predicting what's going to happen, I'm also like, wait a minute, they cut out a scene. Like, what happened?
Yeah, right. Yeah, you're confused because there's a hole
Thanks
in
for
the
the
plot.
follow, EJ. Yeah, because and then when it came out on DVD, and you go and watch the deleted scenes, those were all the scenes from the script that I read. I was like, oh my god, that's so cool that, like, they really did have that recorded or whatever and just cut it.
Yeah, right. Cut for time.
So yeah, unfortunately, if we ever get a headline, and actually, there was about 2 months ago, I think, or maybe a little more, there were rumors, like, that somebody was revealing details about the Episode 8 script. It wasn't like the actual script that leaked, but somebody who had read it was, like, basically Sparks noting it, or paraphrasing, like, what happens. Yeah. And yeah, I read his whole testimony, so we'll see how accurate that was.
Yeah, right. I mean, like, I was not quite 8 years old when we went to see The Empire Strikes Back. I fell asleep. Had an argument with my father and brother afterwards that you see Darth Vader's head, and they were like, "Yeah, you do." But I mean, at the end of that film, we had the kind of reaction that people post videos of. You're like, what? It just really shocks you. And, I mean, of course, they would never put that in a trailer today. But the way they do trailers, God, it wouldn't surprise me if somebody did. And I remember when I went to see Return of the Jedi, I went by myself. I was 11, I guess. 10. Yeah, going on 11.
Yeah, something. Well, you mean
I went by myself to the theater, 10 years old, to see Return of the Jedi. It's amazing. But I remember that Jabba the Hutt was a reveal. Like, they hadn't shown a picture of him. So when they walk in and see him for the first time, you're like, holy shit, because you've been waiting 6 years to see this dude. You know?
Damn.
And with the prequels, I saw the first one. I didn't see any of them in the theater. I saw Episode 1, I want to say, maybe a year or two after it came out.
Seriously?
On DVD. Yeah, on DVD. And then I watched it once. Because this was back in the day when you rented DVDs still.
Blockbuster.
And then in 2005, I decided I wanted to see them because Revenge of the Sith was coming out on DVD right around the time of the infamous Trials of Obi-Wan and the new game enhancements. They all happened right at the same time. It was by design, of course.
Yeah.
And it was like 2 weeks before the drop of Sith, I re-rented. I might have actually bought it. Phantom Menace, watched it again. No, that's not true. I went and rented 1 and 2 and watched them back to back in the same day.
Wow.
And at the end of that, I was physically exhausted. I've never been so tired from watching television in my life. Because there's just so much that happens. And you're not really sure what it was at the end. The first time you see those
like,
back to back.
I don't know. Episode 2 isn't particularly interesting to me.
It's what?
It isn't particularly interesting to me.
Yeah, it's like it's a detective film, not really well done.
Yeah.
And it's because he's trying to do a detective film in the Star Wars universe, and so he wants it to be Star Warsy, but be a detective film at the same time. You got to do one or the other. You can't really do both.
No, I mean you could.
There's not enough time in 2 hours. You know.
You could, but you would have to leave like the Jedi and Sith out. Like you could do a really cool detective movie or film set in the Star Wars setting, but it would have to be like a spin-off movie.
That's right. Yes, it would have to be like
like Corsac. Yeah. Like, how cool would it be if we got like a spin-off movie with like Corellian security forces investigating like some bombing at Coronet Starport? I'd watch the shit out of that.
Domestic disturbance.
Well, all right, you're laughing at that, but have you ever seen
Suburbs of Corvella?
No, hold on. Have you ever seen the fan film Troops? That's like the cop spin-off. Oh my god, that was so good.
That's absolutely outstanding. And the person who made that recently did something else, because just the other day, I saw a link to it, and I don't remember what it is. But yeah, that thing's, I mean, just brilliantly done.
I saw that when it first came out. That was great.
Oh yeah,
because they used to. It was Adam Films used to have the Star Wars fan film contests.
Okay.
And there was that. Someone made an animated Darth. It was like Darth Maul and Palpatine stand next to each other, like Jay and Silent Bob.
Okay.
And it was like a parody of the Kevin Smith movie Clerks, and they called it like Trooper Clerks or no Sith Clerks or something like that. Trooper Clerks, because it was two stormtroopers in the convenience store, and then Jay and Silent Bob was Darth Maul and Sidious outside. Yeah, that was funny as hell.
What I really like, there's a lot of funny aspects to the Adult Swim Star Wars episodes.
Oh yeah, the Robot Chicken and the Family Guy are hilarious.
Yeah, Robot Chicken. Yeah, the Robot Chicken vignettes or whatever you want to call them. But one of the ones that I really like is Gary and his partner stopping by looking for droids, getting cookies, and Gary goes to the bathroom and accidentally lights a fire. I think it's just brilliant. So it's like not intentional. He accidentally lights a fire and he's like, yo, dude, we got to get the hell out of here.
Well, on that note, hey, Derek.
Thanks, my young friend.
Thanks for the follow, dude. Have you ever heard the fan theory, that Boba Fett is the one that killed Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen?
Yeah.
I don't know, like, how good of a theory that is, but, like, the evidence is there. Like, I don't know if I support that idea, but it is...
Why is the evidence there?
What's that?
I mean, I don't know what the theory is. And I just remembered the thing that I saw the other day that the guy who did Troops did. He did the fan fiction comic about Tag and Bink.
About who?
I just saw a video the other day about a comic book series about these two... rebel troopers named Tag and Bink. They were on the Tantive 4 and they get away, and they are present at every single step of the original trilogy, and they are the guys who create they explain all the stupid crap, like what's a TIE fighter doing out here in the middle of an asteroid field by itself and things like that. And it was written by the same guy that did Troops.
That's pretty funny. I'll have to look that up. But the Boba Fett thing is pretty interesting. Like I said, I don't know if I support the idea, but We know that Boba Fett's on Tatooine because he makes his little cameo in the special edition of A New Hope when Jabba the Hutt is there with Solo.
Yeah, but maybe he just got there.
Right, but there's more. We know he has a flamethrower on his wrist, right? And we know that he has previously worked for the Empire because he's present like on board the Super Star Destroyer in Empire Strikes Back when they're looking for the Falcon, and Vader makes a note to remind him no disintegrations, and he like points his finger in Boba Fett's face like he's done it before.
Yeah, I've worked with you before.
Yeah.
I know you,
Yep. So he's the one that disintegrated Uncle Owen and Aunt Peru, and Vader is not too happy about it. That's the theory.
That's actually an interesting twist on that. If he knows about
Striker.
that, like, dude, that's my uncle, my brother-in-law, or my half-brother. What's your problem? That's actually his stepbrother, right?
Yes.
They didn't do anything to you.
Yeah, I don't know. I like reading about fan theories and shit like that. Though, I'll never get over the fucking Jar Jar as being a Sith Lord one. That's just stupid.
The Jar Jar what?
Jar Jar being a Sith Lord?
Yeah, it would be a very convenient explanation. It would make a damn better trilogy.
That's such a stupid idea.
But if he had done that, he could have just had one shot in the first film, and it would have fixed it. I don't know that that's the angle he was going for, though.
No. Yeah, no problem, Derek.
If he was going that angle, he would have stuck with it.
I'm glad you found the.
He didn't give a damn what anybody thought.
I'm glad you found the content helpful. Galaxies was my first MMO, also. First real MMO, I should say. I played other like browser-based MMOs before. Alright, well, I don't think I'm gonna have much luck today.
I will say, when it comes to series, I did hear some music today, some musical analysis of Rey's theme.
Yeah.
And if you, there are hints of both Binary Sunset, or the Force theme, as well as the Imperial March in it. That I've not analyzed it very closely before, but evidently it's there. But of course, and he does that all the time, actually. Specifically, one video that I saw showed that if you play her melody in reverse, it plays back the end of the Imperial March theme. And he did that in Anakin's theme. Anakin's theme, the little boy's theme, like right in the third or fourth bar, if you reverse it, it's just the Imperial March backwards.
Huh. Well, I mean, that's more evidence to support my theory of Rey is Anakin reborn.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like, if they go that route, like, fans are gonna flip shit.
People are gonna be upset. Yep. They'll be like the next day that I didn't know there were sharks in the Star Wars universe, but they just jumped it.
I mean, even did you hear the interview with Mark Hamill where he was like, I disagree with the direction they're deciding to go with this, but I can respect their decision for it, or something?
Actually, he said with my character.
That's true.
Yeah, he didn't say the whole thing, just my character. So who knows what they're doing. Anyway, time for me to adios.
Alright. Things are going to get a whole lot quieter then.
Yeah, they are.
Too bad Risen won't get a mic. Are we talking about the apparent leak from a marketing guy that got fired? I'm not sure. I'm not sure about anybody that got fired. Got some Donkey Kong Country remix music today. Looking for some Black Sun. Probably not going to find any. So far we've done like a weird up and around this island here. I'm going to cut across. You're working northeast? Alright. I didn't even look to see how long the server has been up for. Oh, 3.5 days. We might not find any. I should have taken a nap. I'm tired. And this is going to put me to sleep.
I am here because you are here.
You saw a video explaining some... Hold on, what happened? Oh, Ian, dude, thanks for the donation. Thanks for all the great videos. Keep up the good work. Dude, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Striker says, I saw a video explaining some plot details about the new movie, and it kind of said exactly what you did, that Rey is born to balance the Force. Yeah, I mean, it's not my theory. I don't even remember who originally said it, but I read it online at some point. Somebody came up with the theory that Rey is Anakin reborn. And there's really, when you think about it, like, it sounds like such a crazy idea, right? But when you actually analyze the evidence, like, it is a lot more likely I won't say it's extremely likely, but there's a lot of evidence there to support that theory. The biggest thing is the lightsaber, right? Because it's like, oh, she's Luke's daughter because it's Luke's lightsaber, and the lightsaber calls to her because she's descendant from Luke. But really, that was Anakin's lightsaber given to Luke from Obi-Wan, right? Which means it's not calling to her because Luke is her father. It's calling to her because it's freaking hers. It is her lightsaber. And then in the movie, in episode 7, when she touches it, she has those flashbacks. And some of the flashbacks we think were her flashbacks, right? Like she's in the rain and she's got like the Knights of Ren there. And there's her being left on Jakku. But then there's also that flashback of when Luke and Vader dueled on Cloud City. And Rey obviously wasn't even born yet, so how does that fit in unless that's her flashback from when she was still Anakin? It's just, there's so many minor little like things, like breadcrumbs sprinkled in Force Awakens. We don't know who her parents were, which we knew who Anakin's mom was, Shmi. But who was Anakin's dad? Oh, that's right. He didn't have a dad. He was miraculously conceived by the Force. So that's one of the reasons we might not know who Rey's parents are, because, well, she only has 50% of her parents. We still obviously don't know who her mom is, but maybe we'll find out who that is in episode 8. But the fact that she was able to fly the Millennium Falcon without ever like flying it before, and pull like those crazy maneuvers and shit without any experience, and we know, unless she lied about it, because when Finn asked like, "Whoa, like have you done this before?" and she's like, "No, first time," or whatever. Well, Anakin was a great pilot. It explains why Rey is such a good pilot. Anakin was the only human that could ever pod race. Rey knows how to do crazy fucking shit with the Millennium Falcon as soon as she touches the controls. Like, it just makes sense. Anakin, born and raised on a desert planet. Rey, born and raised on a desert planet. Well, we don't know if she was born there, but at least she grew up there. Like, the parallels are just so crazy. I feel like there's another point that I was missing. I don't remember. Oh, it answers why she's so strong with the Force. A lot of people complained that Rey was so quick to pick up her use of the Force. Like, she used a mind trick or whatever on the stormtrooper towards the end of the movie, like, without any training whatsoever. Well, if she's, like, the freaking chosen one, it makes sense that she would have that power, or would be able to learn it really, really quickly. I kind of liken it to Avatar: The Last Airbender. How, like, the chosen one in Star Wars is kind of like the Avatar, who is said to bring balance to the world when the Fire Nation attacked. But seriously, though, like, that, it kind of makes sense. Like, when the Force is so crazy out of balance, it knows to like, birth a chosen one to bring things back into balance. It's a crazy freaking idea, but man, I would not be disappointed if that's the way they decide to go. It just seems like you could give a different character God mode every trilogy and it just goes forever. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the same issue that you run into with the Avatar universe. But, I don't know. That's why I think the spin-off movies are good. Like, I loved Rogue One. I would love to see more side stories in Star Wars. Stories that don't even have anything to do with the main plot. Their own... I just want independent, self-contained stories that take place in the Star Wars universe. That's all I want. I don't want... It doesn't have to even... There could be no mention of Skywalker or Solo. I don't want C-3PO and R2-D2 to pop up in a closet for no fucking reason. Just give me a movie about some dude who... Give me a movie about Black Sun. Give me a movie about Mandalorian wars. Like, different Mandalorian clans fighting over Mandalore. Like, there's so many cool things, cool stories that could be told in the Star Wars universe that don't have to have anything to do with the main story. Ferelli has to make a correction. The portion of Anakin's theme when reversed is not the Imperial March. It's actually the Star Wars main theme. Alright, I mean, that's still cool. So, but the reason I say that is, Striker, I wouldn't be put off by the fact that, like, there's a chosen one every trilogy and then, like, basically is, like, a character with God mode. Like, if that's the way the Star Wars universe works, that's the way the Star Wars universe works, and fine. The chosen one is always there. It's like an I can't say the fucking word. Omnipotent? Yeah, omnipotent. Whatever. An all-encompassing, all-empowerful, like, empowered being. Wow, I can't fucking talk today. Anyway... I would be okay with that if we got stories that weren't always related to that character. Like Rogue One. Now, I still don't know how I feel about this Han Solo spin-off, though. Especially since they freaking, they fired or they let go the two writers, was it? Or were they the writers or the directors they let go? Like, that's never a good thing. Directors, Ron Howard came in to finish it. Yeah. So, really though, fucking clicknicks. What happens though when they replace the director? Oh my god, that's so loud. Alright, so they replaced the directors. But what does that really change? Because they didn't change, like, the story. Or maybe they did and they just didn't say anything about it. But, like, if the story is the same... No, never mind. The director still has a lot to say, or a lot to do with, like, how it's told. Because you can take a brilliant director, but if you give a brilliant director a shitty script, the movie's still gonna suck. And if we've learned anything from the Star Wars prequels, it's that a shitty script can really, really fuck up a movie. Yeah, but see, that's what I'm saying. Ian says, I'm sure it was something to do with the directors adding too much comedy to it, and that was not the direction the studio wanted to go. But wouldn't that be in the script? Like, the director can't just add comedy to a movie like on a whim. That shit is usually written into the script. Am I wrong? I mean, I could be wrong. I've never taken, like, a film class or anything, but it seems to me like just because they swap directors doesn't mean it would be any more or less funny. They would have to change the script. Hey, Talalord. Director could push actors to play the scenes differently, though. Well, sure, but like how much differently? I would need to see like an example. I'm not saying you're wrong. I have a hard time picturing exactly how much of a how much humor can you add to a scene without changing the entire scene. I would need to look up like a YouTube video and have someone like show me an example of the same scene filmed two different ways or by two different directors. That would actually be a really interesting video to watch. I would watch that. I'm sorry, I can't stop yawning. We didn't go to bed last night till like 3 a.m. and then I was up at like 9 a.m. Ian says, quoting from the Telegraph article, the Hollywood Reporter went further, suggesting that Kasdan, who scripted the film with his son John, had the biggest problem with the pair, unhappy with their loose approach to the script and their encouragement of improvisation. I like improvisation. You ever watch Whose Line Is It Anyway? That shit's hilarious. Han Solo is the master of improvisation.
Thanks, my young friend.
The Real Olindo. Thanks for the follow, man. Yeah, exactly. If filming is finished, unless they redo big chunks of it, it will be hard to edit it out. I mean, we'll see. It's supposed to come out in, like, March, isn't it? Because Rogue One was supposed to come out in March, and then when they had their reshoots, it got delayed back till December. But I didn't hear anything about the Han Solo movie getting delayed. I don't know. And then I wonder what we're going to get after that. What's the next spin-off movie? Rumors were an Obi-Wan origin story, weren't they? Thought it was Boba Fett. See, I don't know. Nobody knows. You haven't seen a mob in the past 10 minutes. It's 9 a.m. and you're falling asleep. Alright, dude. Call it a night. I appreciate your help. Fuck. It's only 7 p.m. here and I'm falling asleep. So I don't blame you. Alright guys, I'm going to drive around with my eyes closed. We're going to use the Force. And then what I need you to do is either follow or donate when we find Black Sun so that I open my eyes and I'll hear the alert. Here we go. Trust me, I'm not falling asleep. It's fucking hard. Yeah, that'll never work. $12:15 a.m. there, so you're off to bed. Alright, Ian. Thanks for checking out the stream. Thanks again for the donation. I'm trying my best to do a little bit more streaming, but it's difficult to know what my schedule's going to be. Damn, more click nicks. I always get excited when I see the red rings. You know what I really miss, though, like, more than anything, is the era of, like, really experimental Star Wars games. Like, remember back in the good old days, like, like, the late 90s and the early 2000s, where there were, like, 2 or 3 Star Wars games would come out a year? 2 or 3 different Star Wars games a year. Shadows of the Empire, Rogue Squadron, Episode 1 Racer, Bounty Hunter, Republic Commando, Demolition, Rebel Assault, Jedi Outcast, Jedi Academy. Like, all those games came out within, like, a 5-year time period. And now it's like we get one Star Wars game every 2 years. If we're lucky. Like, what the fuck? Demolition is fucking horrid, but it doesn't matter. It was still a game. We had strategy games. We had Empire at War, Force Commander, Rebellion, Galactic Battlegrounds. We had Obi-Wan. We had the Revenge of the Sith game. Clone Wars on GameCube. Rogue Leader. Rebel Strike. Like, so many games came out back then. I'm talking to you guys and my microphone's still muted. Sorry. Hi, Zyrek. Yes, those days were the best. I had to mute my mic because somebody came into the room, and they're going to be coming back through the room in a minute. I'll hold off on my idea until they're done. But I just thought of a really cool idea that I would love to pitch. What I was saying is that I really wish we had more variety in our Star Wars games, like different types of games instead of just the shooter, because it looks like we're just going to get like Battlefront every year now. And whatever game Visceral Studios is working on is supposed to be like a third-person action-adventure game. I've heard people comparing it to like Uncharted, which would be cool. But what I would really like to see, and I don't think we'll ever see this, which is why I want to pitch it, would be like an open-world survival game in Star Wars. Imagine a game like The Long Dark. I don't know if you guys have ever played that. I have it, and I think it just came out of beta recently. But The Long Dark is like a game where the goal is basically to survive as long as you can in a really cold environment. So you have to scavenge for food and build like a campsite and, you know, chop wood and light the wood on fire to stay warm. Now, take that idea, and I mean, you could do it on Hoth, I guess, if you really want to stick with like the cold theme. But my idea would have been like Endor. Like, what if you were just dropped on Endor? Like the forest. You guys ever played the game The Forest, where like you start off in a plane, and the plane crashes in like the jungle, and there's all these like cannibals that are running around trying to eat you? Imagine that. Like, you're on a cargo shuttle, the cargo shuttle gets shot over Endor, and like you have to use the escape pod, and the escape pod like crashes down to the surface of Endor, and you don't have anything, and now you have to like scavenge for supplies on Endor while fighting off like creatures, and maybe you'll find Ewoks. The Ewoks might be helpful, and they might attack you. Like, who knows? Like, maybe you can trade with the Ewoks if you build up reputation with them or something. Like, this game has so much potential, and I just thought of it. I would play the shit out of that game. I need that game made now. That's gonna be stuck in my mind. Damn. I got myself all hyped for a game that doesn't even exist. Kashyyyk would be cool too. Well, because you have like the Shadowlands in Kashyyyk underneath all like the Wookiee villages, the treetop villages. Or like that game that just came out not that long ago, Firewatch. I haven't played it yet. I have it, but I've never played it. But it looked pretty cool. It was like a story-driven, open-world, kind of like exploration game. The only problem I've heard with Firewatch is the replayability is very low. Like, once you've made it through the game once, you're pretty much done with it. Or even a really well done Telltale game set in Star Wars. Like the Telltale games, Walking Dead games are pretty fun. Tales from the Borderlands was like freaking incredible. The Game of Thrones ones wasn't bad. Like, there's so much they could do with the freaking license, and they're just sitting on it. It really triggers me. I don't think we're gonna find anything, guys. Still 0. You love the DK music playing in the background? Yeah, man. I just recently got a new phone, and it has, like, my old phone was a 32 gigabyte. This one's 256. So I've been able to put a lot more of my music on it than my old phone. And as I was putting music on, I was listening to soundtracks that I haven't listened to in forever, and DK was one of the soundtracks that I was reintroduced to. I mean, I used to listen to this shit all the time when I was younger, but it's been years, and it's really good music. So I just threw on a playlist of, like, remixed Donkey Kong Country themes. You'll probably hear some repeats in there, but I don't really care. I'm hoping, since they're remixed themes, I don't get flagged for some sort of, like, copyright infringement. But we'll see. Ian donated to the channel earlier, or to the stream earlier, and anytime somebody donates to the stream, I feel less bad about playing copyrighted music, because I feel kind of like it's sponsored at that point anyway. Because I do monetize my YouTube videos, but anytime I play anything copyrighted, I can't monetize that video. But if somebody donated to the video, like, while I was recording it, which is what I'm doing now, then usually the donation more than covers what I would have made off of the ad revenue anyway. That's the other thing is algebra. I'm trying to keep it as quiet as possible so that my voice or any like in-game sound effects will kind of mask it. But I have been surprised in the past. I always try to follow the beaches, but really, there's no science to this at all. Here, actually, I'll put on a good one. Let's see, is this the one? No. This is a good one. Yo, Lockjaw's theme from DK Country 2 is sick. I'm gonna turn this one up a little bit. This is a dope remix of an already incredible track. Have I ever found a piece of armor on the EMU while hunting Black Sun? Yeah, I've got a couple of them, but no good ones. I don't have any chest plates, or helmets, or boots, or leggings. I only have arm pieces and gloves, and a belt. See, there's no spawns popping up over here, which means the planet is at its limit for world spawns. From what I understand it, the way the game works is spawns will pop up around you as you drive. But once the cap for the planet is reached, they stop spawning. Which means if there aren't any black sun already spawned, no more are going to spawn unless we start clearing these other spawns off the planet to make room for new spawns. Alright, Forelli, later. This is another good one. Dude, okay. Oh, we gotta turn this music down. Nope, that was up. I meant down. Yes, I remember the hell out of Champions of the Force. I loved that game. I would even play it, like, outside of the Galaxy's client, because you could launch the card game independently of Galaxy's. I mean, the closest thing to it right now that I can think of is Hearthstone, which I play Hearthstone probably more than I play Galaxies right now, simply because I can play it from my phone. I typically play a couple rounds of Hearthstone before I go to bed, just from my phone. But, I'm really glad you brought that up. Do you still play on Basilisk, then? Because I might ask you to help me with something. Alright. Are you on my Discord server? Or do you use Discord? I guess is the bigger question. Alright, here, hold on. I'm gonna post a link for it. The only reason I ask is because that's the easiest way to get a hold of me. I have Discord on my phone. I have Discord open on my computer whenever I'm on my computer, regardless of what I'm doing. So, for anyone who's ever looking to get in contact with me right now, Discord is the way to do it. I used to say, you know, posting a comment on one of my videos sends me instant email notifications, to which I will do my best to respond to as soon as I can. And while I do still do my best to read all the comments, for some reason, YouTube has stopped sending me email notifications for a lot of comments, particularly comments that are replies to other comments. I get no notification of those anymore for some reason. So unless I'm actively going through all of my comments, like, I might miss a couple of those. But Discord is just so much easier to use for that sort of stuff. Yeah, dude, I have no idea what's going on. I'm actually... Something's coming up and I might actually have to go. I'm gonna start making my way back to the outpost up north. And if I run into anything, then I'll take them out, but I don't think I will. I'm getting text messages. I might have to go help someone do something. This is why I can't stream, guys. Something always comes up. Yeah, it's alright, guys. I know the delay can be pretty bad sometimes. But, Zyric, basically, the reason I was seeing if there was some easier way I could contact you is because I've been on again, off again working on a secret project. I say secret in quotes like that because a couple people already know about it. A couple people have helped me work on it a little bit. But, I kind of lost interest in it for a while, and I'm starting to regain interest in it, so I might start working on it again, and if I do, I'm going to be asking a couple of people to help me with it. And since you brought up Champions of the Force, I thought maybe you might want to be, or you might be interested in helping me since it's related to that. I won't say much more of it on stream because I would like it to be a surprise for most people. if it ever gets finished. That's the problem. I don't want to tell people what I'm working on and then end up never finishing it, because that just looks bad. But if it's a mystery, then people will be less upset if it never happens.
Thanks, my young friend.
Corbin1, thanks for the follow, man. Welcome to the channel. Yeah, algebra. I think we need to do this on a day, like right after the server comes back up. I didn't realize the server had been up for 3.5 days. If I had looked at that, I probably would not have decided to do this tonight. Because I also need to go credit grinding. I probably would have done that instead. Alright, I mean, I can explain a little bit of it to you later. But, I am gonna have to go here as soon as I get back to this outpost. I just want to find one group of Black Sun. Just one group as I'm driving back. Like, give me something. Anything. And actually, Zyrek, are you an SWGEmu member? Are you a member of my guild on Basilisk or no? I'm only asking so that I could tag you as one in the Discord since you joined. But if you're not, it's okay. I'm not going to think any less of you. This is where Algebra was driving around. He said northeast. So he's probably already been all over this island. Alright, Zyrek. Have a good night, man. I'll talk to you later. Alright, Algebra. Have a good night. Yeah, this was a sad, sad attempt. There is somebody else live streaming Galaxies right now. So when I get back to the outpost, I'll throw a host up on his channel so you guys can, if you're still interested in watching Galaxies content, you can give him a watch. It's the first time I've seen him streaming. I follow Galaxies as a game on Twitch. So whenever somebody streams Galaxies, like, I can see who's streaming. And it's very rarely that anybody ever streams Galaxies, but every once in a while somebody decides to do it, and they usually don't have more than 10 viewers. Which, I mean, hell, I've got like 16, so I don't have much more than 10 either. But anyway, I saw him streaming earlier. He's a pretty cool dude. I gave him some credits and some swoops. Some buffs. So, you guys can say hey to him or whatever, since I've got to go. But thank you guys for hanging out for this extremely boring stream. It seems like every time I stream Galaxies, all we do is either do Black Sun hunting or credit grinding. Alright, that's all she wrote for today. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I'll see you next time.